Guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Summer Anderson and Seth with my co-host JK Jr. Wolf, and welcome to Nerd Rant.
The only Nerd Rant.
Whoa! What are you possibly referring to?
I mean, there's definitely not another Nerd Rant out there. We are the only one, and we are the best and superior one.
We are. That is complete facts, according to our Discord.
Yep.
Which you should join.
Definitely go join the Discord because there's kind of some things going down.
God, it's gonna get a little spicy. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be a little heated.
We have our territory. It's been a little tread on here.
It has, out of nowhere. I don't know where. I have no idea where it came from.
But we are being threatened.
But you know what I got that they don't? Xbox fridge with a Capri Sun in it.
That is very true. I very doubt that they have that specific of a drink in a mini fridge.
And it's Pacific Cooler. Do you like Pacific Cooler?
It is. I don't know what that is.
Oh, did you not have... I guess you don't really get Capri Suns, do you?
Not really, no.
Okay. That's the one that comes with Lunchable. I think they're like, just cooler. Anyway.
Brilliant.
So keep an eye out on that. Anyway, what are we doing today?
Today we are doing a kind of general update episode. There's a lot of things happening in the internet, and we want to inform you all and discuss a couple of the topics.
Yes, so I have a list here. There's quite a good bit that we're going to be going over. So I'm going to start with these two quick things because they're anime, and then we're going to go on to the movies and games. First off, I don't think we mentioned this, but I think it does need to be said. Akira Toriyama. You heard about this, right?
Yep.
So he was the writer of Dragon Ball, and he sadly has passed away. This is a few weeks ago at this point, but we don't really cover like just general stuff unless it's huge, which isn't really a lot nowadays. So this is a perfect chance to just kind of give some remarks, say something about that. Really sad. Again, he was the writer of Dragon Ball. He worked on Dragon Ball Z, Super, and he was still working on it along with some other projects. So that's really sad. And then with that, there's actually a little bit of One Piece news, but just something that I'm really proud about Oda for. Oda, the writer, has officially stated that he will be taking a 3-week break, which is really annoying after the last chapter we just had this week. But it's really good because I remember it hasn't been like this for a little while. I want to say this stopped in like 2017, 2013, somewhere in that range. He was working 20 hours a day for his manga. Mangakas, people that make manga work abysmal hours. So he's taking this just as a respect to Akira Toriyama, but also for health issues. Not that he has any, just to make sure he doesn't have any and kind of take some time to himself, which a lot of people don't. So I'm really happy that he deserves that. But like I said, he also just did a shout out because I know a lot of people complain and trying to pit One Piece against Naruto and Dragon Ball. But these people were literally friends. Like, Oda very much looked up to this guy. Dragon Ball is inspiration to a lot of manga. And another thing to this is, I know you guys kind of know, kind of don't know, this is a lot bigger than just anime, because even JJ knows how much of an influence Dragon Ball has on pop culture and the internet nowadays. So this is a lot bigger than just anime.
It's one of the few animes that made it into Fortnite. I think that says something.
Yeah, so it's pretty devastating news for a lot of anime fans specifically.
07's in the comments, everybody.
Yep. But yeah, so that's the anime news. Now let's start with some games. We've got a whole bunch of game news, specific games, studios, stuff like that. So let's start with Riot. Apparently there was an MMO, JJ. Did you know this?
I heard about it.
Yeah, so there was a Riot MMO. Oh, dang it. Stupid Twitter. Just backed me up. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I've heard a few things throughout the years, but the developer said they've apparently switched directions, so they're going to be going dark for a few years. So we don't know the progress of it, and if they're full resetting, if they're changing engines, what exactly is happening. But it seems like it's going to be pushed back quite a few years. So again, I don't know if you heard about those. I started getting into some MMOs a little bit more recently, so when I heard about this in general, I'm like, oh, maybe, never mind.
It's interesting to see Riot going in all these different directions, because obviously they made League of Legends and they made Valorant, which are both very competitive games, though they are both in different spaces. You know, you have the FPS space and you have like the tactical, I don't even know what you'd call that, like
strategy. I just call that strategy game.
Yeah, but you have those two, and now they're making an MMO. They are supporting Hytale, and I think I saw they had a Smash Bros-esque fighting game in development as well.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that one, but yeah. So they've been making some rounds, but again, it's kind of sad. But it's good that they're not like keep giving updates, but they're also somewhat giving updates. Like they're being a little bit more vocal. Good to see this with communities and video game creators. Another game. Now, I actually just re-downloaded this and I kind of checked it out because I'm kind of hype. There's some Overwatch 2 news. How much do you still play this? Do you ever really dabble in it every once in a while?
I have not played it in a while.
I have not played it since Season 1. We're in Season 9 right now. So, as of today, we have 23 days left of the season. It starts on April 15th. That is when Season 10 starts. And there is a lot of good features changing. One, future heroes from now on are going to be free for everyone. The new heroes, they will be free for everyone. You do not need to pay for the battle pass.
It's good.
Very good change. Mythic shop. So you're going to be able to buy the old tier 100s, all the mythic skins and stuff. I guess you're going to be able to buy them with some kind of in-game currency. Good. And then new game mode is coming out this year, but they're play testing at the start of Season 10. And this is something I wish more studios would do, that they would do like kind of betas, whether they're just kind of random or just to the public, because guess what that's going to do? That's going to give us content, a new game mode, but it's also going to make the game mode better for when it fully releases, if they just give it to us for a month or something. So, what do you think about that? Like, just that idea of, like, playtest? Because I feel like so much stuff, like, I feel like that'd be a really good strategy for a lot of games to be doing.
Yeah, I think in all, it supports better development in a way, because now they have all of these different elements telling them where the issues are. They can get to fixing them a lot quicker, and as much as closed betas can help, I think playtests are a lot easier for them to control, and I think it helps in terms of getting a larger scale of feedback instead of, having these specific people give you feedback.
Yeah, I just say that because sometimes it's harder when it's so experimental, to have thousands, tens of thousands of people in this experimental game mode that it might not work right.
Yeah.
Kind of do separate servers. That's kind of like what the Call of Duty beta is supposed to be at this point, though. That's just advertising. It changes very slightly. That's what beta should be, and we have seen that with some games, but I wish more games would do playtests and proper betas, because I feel like that would fix a lot of stuff at launch. Give us time, but give us the content through a beta, lock some content that we can't access to the launch, and then that kind of can drag out that enjoyment period. But anyway, so that also, I don't know if you remember, a lot of the maps are kind of scuffed. So not only are they going to be working a little bit harder on future maps, they're going to be remaking current maps, and then sometime after Season 12, there will be a full season. Not sure if it's Season 13, 14, 15, whatever, but after 12, there'll be a full season where they're just focusing on overhauling maps. Which, for a game like Overwatch, seems like a very good change.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know you played Valorant. How do you feel about that? Like, if a game, how different are the maps, and how would you feel about a game like that having just some overhauls that might need?
I have been keeping track of Valorant, and that is actually something they do almost every new season. I think it's called something different for them, but they are frequently changing the old maps and editing different parts of them to make them more balanced, because there are obviously, in Valorant, everybody plays angles, so there are things that are meta corners or spots that you can see where they can't quite see you, or you can shoot your ability here and it does this or that, and they are actively changing these things, trying to make them more balanced and not as overpowered, which is definitely good to see. And it's nice to see that they're still taking care of these old maps, even if they aren't something that is as important to the new season.
Because that's one thing that is hard, that some games have, like Call of Duty, right? They keep adding more and more maps, but they kind of just drop the ball and just kind of leave the old ones go. They don't really change anything. So it's nice seeing some creators. Now, is this quite a while after launch? Yes! But it's nice that eventually they're turning around. I also want to point out how it's kind of funny how Overwatch 2 is getting better by going more and more Overwatch 1.
Well, big shock here. This is about the time where Microsoft is getting their hands on the internals of Overwatch here. So this is probably a lot to do with their hand in the changes.
It could be. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so Overwatch 2 if you're interested, because I know that's like one of the most hated games at this point on Steam, but it seems like it's promising that it might get better.
Yeah.
And speaking of that reminds me of another game, Apex. Did you hear about what happened with Apex's tournament the other day?
No, what happened?
So, there were some hackers in this $1 million tournament. That sounds bad, right? It gets worse. Because they didn't hack. They were given them through someone else. So these streamers, like these pro players, were hacked into and then given hacks in this tournament. And then through this, they also got their data leaked.
Sure.
So that's really bad, right? But that's not just the pros. That means everything. And do you know what anti-cheat Apex uses?
Yeah.
Easy. The same one as Fortnite.
But that's the same one as a lot of things, bro.
A lot of things. It's a big one, but Fortnite, because we talk about Fortnite. Now, it looks like, and they have blatantly claimed for Easy, that it's not, and Fortnite has claimed that they're safe. It's not like overall, so it might just be an Apex thing. But keep an eye out. I know a lot of people were like just telling people delete Apex, get it off there. I don't know about consoles because, it's different, but especially if you have a PC, delete Apex if you have it and just reboot Apex. Like, completely wipe it and then re-download. Just better safe than sorry. And then final game thing. Hytale. Not Hytale, Hypixel. Hypixel, Simon from Hypixel, did you see what he said the other day, which is really, really funny?
What?
He apparently, I know, surprise here. He apparently will be making okay, right here. 12 years ago, I created Hypixel. Today, I'm branching out to create a new, entirely self-funded game studio starting with a $4 million budget. My focus is on producing fun games and putting together a talented, dedicated, lean team. The financial return of our debut game isn't my primary concern. Production begins this summer. The search for a high-performing leadership team to bring the vision to life is underway, and et cetera, et cetera. And just a few other things. So it's really funny because didn't they already have a team? And what does that mean for Hytale? Is that not their debut game?
Yeah, I don't quite know why he would do this, because like the whole point of creating Hytale was like instead of being solely Minecraft devs, they moved out and started developing their own game. They created an actual dev team to start creating games. So I don't know why he would then once again split off from that team and go create his own, unless maybe Hytale is not moving fast enough, maybe, and he just wants to get onto another project.
So he did comment, to be transparent, the first debut game will be relatively simple with a reasonable achievement scope to release on Steam as early as possible. No time. I'm wondering if they're just going to make a small game because, Hytale is going slow. Maybe they just want to get a game out there from this team. But what if this is because of Riot? That yes, he had a studio, but now he gets a sub thing in Riot.
I mean, do we have confirmation that Riot's involved? Because if not, then
I don't know. This is 3 days ago. I haven't heard much. This is just a random Twitter post from Simon. But I'm wondering if maybe maybe it is that same studio, but it's properly funded instead of a small indie team. Because really, that's what it was, right? It was more of an indie team, and maybe this is going to be a part of a AAA studio thing, like Blizzard under Activision.
I mean, I doubt they would let him announce it this way if that was the case.
I don't know, but hey, that's something. Something's gonna happen. And I did want to bring up with Hytale, right? With the Hytale engine, I wonder with all that, with the studio. Hypixel Skyblock, I know you didn't like that as much. I still like it. It's still getting updated. And I saw some people talking about eventually when a Hytale releases, imagine he can use that engine to then make Hypixel Skyblock without the limitations of Minecraft and make it its own game. Do you think that would do well?
I think so. Yeah, I think obviously it has its audience, especially in Minecraft, because that's like a popular thing in Minecraft. But I think having their own engine could be very helpful in terms of their vision of things moving forward, and it'll also help them expand past, the boundaries of simple block game,
Yeah, because they're already, you have to use a texture. You don't have to, but they use a texture pack because there's like 10 different iron swords that look the same, but they're completely different. Like one teleports, one does, like they have different stats and everything. So it'd be really nice if they can just blatantly do that instead of just having to like do a roundabout way of a resource pack.
Yeah.
But no, I know I would love that. That would also mean the possibility of, with the new engine, to possibly be on multiple devices as well. That can bring the console, right? So, that's some fun news. I think that's it for games. Is there any game news that you want to cover? Because the rest is movies and TV shows.
I did have one here, yes. So, Ubisoft, a little bit ago, actually announced... I don't know if it's an announcement or just an update, but they announced that they have a team working on AI NPCs.
Oh,
which
fun.
is very intriguing, and there's been a lot of controversy over this, but they're calling it Neo NPCs, and they plan on implementing this into many of their upcoming titles. As of now, it's not at all ready to be implemented, but they hope to use it within the coming years. It's kind of scary that they're already at this point where we can have like mini chat GPTs playing different characters. They assured us that like the characters themselves would still be characters. They can still have arcs and they still go where we need to go. This is basically just AI for conversation, so that if we like, say for example, I know we've all done it at some point, talk to the same NPC over and over again until they, repeat a line. This is essentially going to make it so that never happens. They will say different things every time. You can hold an actual conversation with them if you choose to. And, you'll be able to ask them questions about their character and actually get to know the NPCs a little bit more. That's their goal. I saw a lot of people talking about how, like, this kind of would be undermining the writers of these NPCs. From the sounds of it, they're trying to avoid that because they will still have people writing them. The way they are developing this model, it actually is... You still have to write the character, you have to write their backstory, their personality, but instead of, writing the direct lines yourself, you're implementing that into this AI model, and that AI model then mimics the character you've written and allows you to talk to it.
So maybe like you have to make the dialogue, but then it'll change the order. The AI kind of gives it that discussion, that conversation feel.
Yeah, but it's going to be fresh every time. Each player could get the NPC saying it in a different way rather than it being the same cut and dry line every time.
I could see the pros and cons to this, honestly. Like that, this definitely seems scary with AI, but again, it's hard with like AI. Like there's a lot of pros and good things. It's just making sure that everyone is treated fairly and justly, right? Like, so as long as they can somehow find a way to make all the people that write the character dialogue agree and like be promptly like paid or something, I think this could be a good outcome.
Yeah, I think as long as they can, keep that human element of it, make sure the character itself and its personality is still written by the human, then I have no problem with, getting different lines from that written character. I think it could be helpful, it could make a game unique, and it could actually bring new light to going on YouTube and watching somebody else's playthrough, because they might ask a character a different question or get a different detail about this character that you're seeing,
Yeah, no, that could add a lot. Just make sure everyone's treated right, because there's been a lot of talk about that, and it's gonna keep going. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
All right, so some movies. First, Poltergeist. Have you heard of this movie? It's an old movie. This is not a new movie.
I have heard of it. I have not seen it, however.
It's a horror movie. So, it's scary. You got dead things, right? Apparently, when the one girl was having to do a scene with corpses, it was cheaper to use real corpses instead of making them.
No.
And she did not know till after the movie.
No. Dude.
Because this is an older movie, so that makes sense from back then. Like, there was definitely not, like, laws saying, no, you cannot use the dead body in the movie. So, yeah, that happened.
Dang.
Now I'm more scared to watch the movie.
The stories you get to tell your grandchildren. Oh, yes, I was in this movie, and I
was in a
handled
pit of
dead
dead
bodies without knowing it.
So that was fun. That was just a random thing scrolling through Twitter I thought I'd throw in there. Anyway, Mario 2. Mario Day was the other day, which I'm surprised how many people didn't realize what Mario Day was. March 10th. You knew this, right?
Yeah, I knew of it. It's not something that I
it's not a
usually
big
keep
thing,
track of.
but like, it's not, like, people didn't know there was ever a thing like Mario Day, like Pi Day. Like, everyone knows Pi Day, everyone knows May the 4th. Anyway, but apparently there was an announcement, and that was a supposed date for Mario 2. It is set for 2026.
Which, like, that's to be expected, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected, but it's nice to know it's not 2025, 2027, 2026. No month, just year. That means it is in production, so nice.
It's nice to know that despite the, Rotten Tomatoes critic reviews, they're still pursuing this. Like, obviously, it made them a lot of money, but it got not so great reviews in terms of the critics. But it does seem like they're listening to the fans a little bit more, which is
I think that
really
was the
good
whole
to
movie,
see.
right? Like, the whole movie was listening to the fans in the community, right?
kind of.
Like, it was a lot of, like, references to game, like, you know, lore, all that kind of stuff.
Unless you count Chris Pratt. That was not listening to the community.
He's special.
He is special.
So I haven't seen one yet, because I just haven't gotten around to it, but excited, because obviously it was a big deal. What? I forget, which one made more, this one or Barbie? Barbie, but this one was definitely close. This is definitely one of the biggest animated movies in a hot minute. So, good to see some love for animated movies.
Go watch it.
Huh?
It's on Netflix. Go watch it.
I know. There's a lot of movies on Netflix I gotta watch. There's a documentary that came out recently, and I don't know if you've heard about this.
Which one?
Quiet on Set.
What about who?
Nickelodeon.
And
Dan Snyder.
Okay.
Do you know who he is? Do you know the shows Drake and Josh?
Yes.
iCarly.
Yeah.
Victorious.
Yes.
He made all those.
Okay.
He also did some not great things.
Okay.
Still not in jail for doing those things. He's a pretty terrible person. And even had children come into a room to sign an non-disclosure, non-disclosed...
NDA.
NDA, yeah, sorry. And without their parents in the room. And these kids were like 10, 11, 12.
How smart.
Not a great person.
Yeah.
And this documentary, obviously we've known this for a while, but a lot of people have come out and spoken about it. Parents, actors, producers, a whole bunch of stuff. So, very interesting. It's good because, like, that is such a scary world of child actors. Like, people don't realize how much they go through.
Yeah.
And how much that can really mess up somebody's life. Jeanette McCurdy, the person who played Sam, and both iCarly, Victorious, and eventually Sam and Cat, did not come back to the iCarly reboot just because she just couldn't be with that group anymore. And it's nothing against them, just, like, too much. And even if... Because I think it was still Nickelodeon. I'm not too sure, because I know it's Paramount and Nickelodeon, like, they're the same, different, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if it was necessarily Nickelodeon, but... Yeah, no, just pray for them, because they went through a lot, and I know a lot of people have been mad about some people and some things coming out, and it's like, they're not realizing that this is not easy for them. Like, last time they talked about this, they were also quiet on the internet. They're not bad people. This is hard.
Yeah.
But I'm happy this came out because it needs to be spoken about. And when you go back, I will say one thing. Apparently, he had a foot fetish, which is great.
Really?
Now, when you go back and you rewatch Victorious, iCarly, all those, you realize how much of an influence he had, and not a great influence. But yeah.
Yeah.
But in some more fun news, I got some other movies. Do you want to talk? I got two. I have a movie franchise and a movie. Which one do you want to go into first?
Let's talk about the Solo movie here.
Solo movie. All right. It's set for April 4th, 2025. It's been in the works for quite a while. $150 million budget. The Minecraft movie.
This has been an adventure keeping track of, like, let me tell you. For what, 4 years, I think? We suspected Jason Momoa was the lead role.
Okay,
he was
so
going to
wait,
be playing
actually,
Steve.
In the description, there's going to be a video. This is where I got all my information. He did a really great video about going over this. Apparently, Jason Momoa is still in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So is
he's
Jeanette
still there.
McCurdy, or Jennifer Coolidge. Different person.
Yep.
But who is the main character now? Wait, no, not main character. But who's playing Steve?
Jack Black.
Now, the reason I say that is we don't know anything about the plot of this movie because Minecraft is such an open game.
No, the only thing we know is that it's supposedly live action.
It's live action made by Warner Brothers.
Like, that is crazy. Like, how are you turning Minecraft live action, first of all? Like, that's the first thing we have to address here is Minecraft. The game that is literally real life, but turn it blocky.
Defined
how
by
are you
the
going
visuals.
to make that real life? Like, what?
So it's going to be very interesting. But it did also apparently start January this year. Start recording. So it's on a schedule. Don't know how long that's going to stay. Set for next year around this time. Might have some more news throughout the year. Kind of excited. Also, like, what's going to happen? Because, like I said, we don't know who the main character is. Because we don't know who Jason Momoa is. Could it be, like, Alex? You know, like, one of those, like, main characters? Maybe
it's possible. I mean,
maybe Jennifer
here's
Coolidge
a weird
is
thing,
Alex.
right? Minecraft just took the stance, I think it was last Minecraft Live they announced this, that they don't want Steve and Alex to be the forefront of, like, the game's
they added
icons
a
anymore.
lot
They
more
wanted a
characters.
bunch of characters. They wanted the cast to be iconic. And so them taking the stance of, okay, we have a movie coming out, let's put Steve as the main character, kind of goes against that, for one.
I mean, to be fair, this also started, like, 2015.
True, but you have to
2014,
assume
way
the scripts
before
have
they
changed
wanted
a couple
those.
times.
Only, I think it was, like, 17 scriptwriters and, like, 4 producers. Again, all these numbers were in that video that's in the description if you want to watch that. But yeah, that's happening still.
Jack Black seems very committed to the role, I'll tell you that much. Like, have you seen, like, his interviews and stuff about this?
I haven't seen any, like, proper news because I didn't know this was happening until I watched that video that was on my For You page on YouTube.
He's been, like, talking about it in interviews and stuff. People ask him questions, and he said apparently his kids introduced him to Minecraft, and then he's been playing it. Like, that's the only thing he's been playing. Like, that's his hobby for, like, the past, I think he said, like, 3 or 4 months. Because he wants to be able to understand and embrace the character of Steve. He's been Steving it up, I believe he said.
PvP, multiplayer, Redstone. Let's go, Jack Black.
But
no,
yeah,
Jack
like,
Black
he's
seems great.
committed enough.
I mean, look at Kung Fu Panda and his band, Tenacious D, right? You remember the song, I Don't Play Video Games No More?
Yeah.
I'm just picturing the video, the video for it where it goes through a whole bunch of games and there's one Minecraft where it's just super blocky. I'm just imagining like his beard's gonna be blocky and it's gonna be live action, but they're gonna throw some visual like effect over it.
Dude, imagine this whole movie is just a green screen and he's like walking through the Minecraft world.
Dude, oh my god, no.
The biggest troll in cinema history. People
honestly,
expect a live action Minecraft. It's just Jack Black playing Minecraft on a green screen.
So, 2 things. 1, I did see that the current producer knows that video game adaptation movies have not done well. He knows that, so he wants to improve. 2, with a concept like that, right, because the producer said he doesn't want an ugly Sonic situation. Would this be a bad thing, or would the community kind of laugh and be okay with it?
I don't know.
Because that's like so many Minecraft movies online that are like that, where it's just Minecraft characters or it is kind of crappy CGI type of thing. So do you think people would be mad?
I feel like the best option they could have gone with would have been an animated movie, right? Like, animate as they do for the Minecraft lives, you know, have those characters be there. You could even do like a Minecraft story mode route with like the mouths and like movements and stuff, still using body tracking. But like, they've chosen to say it's a live action movie, which I don't. Maybe.
don't know what
Okay,
that
hear me out
means.
here. What if they go down the route of? Have you seen like the Jumanji remake, like the first Jumanji?
Yeah, I've
remake?
seen all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if they go down a route of kind of like that, where it's like real world character gets sucked into game, and game is still blocky, right? And it's just like a kind of back and forth. So we see real world live action, and we see in the game Jack Black.
That sounds really weird and stupid, I'm gonna be honest. Because Minecraft, like, Jumanji has magical properties that can do that. Minecraft is a sandbox.
Because, like, well, Minecraft doesn't have a plot, right? Like,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't.
they're
That's what
not
I'm saying,
going
like,
to
the
give
movie's just
Warner
weird.
Brothers the permission to write Minecraft a plot, and they're not going to outright tell us a Minecraft plot. So they're going to have to come up with a completely disconnected story from the game, meaning they're probably going to do the same thing that a lot of movies have been doing and make it a real-world story with Minecraft included or being the subject of the film.
We'll see. No
I'm
trailer
scared
yet.
for it.
No care, like, yeah. But no, I wanted to bring that up, and I thought this was a perfect episode to go over that, because that is interesting. And speaking of which, with the animated one you brought up, it's the same people that do the Minecon, Villager News,
Element
something.
Animation.
Yeah. They're actually coming back with Villager News. Saw the little announcement about that. So that's some fun stuff. Yeah, it would have been great if someone like them did it, or if,
Yeah.
But no.
Nope. We have Warner Brothers up here.
Yep. So I do have another solo movie I just want to quickly mention, and then we can end my stuff with the movie franchise. So this movie is called Beetlejuice. So I looked up some stuff, and I'm like, I want to point this out because I'm very excited for this.
Have you been keeping track of this one?
Not really. I'm just excited. I've just been waiting for the release date, which we have. I just love how much wordplay they did on this, and the whole trailer. Or not trailer, the teaser poster or whatever. Wish more movies would do this. So the release date is 9/6/24. Can you Beetlejuice? It's Beetlejuice 2. But instead of saying Beetlejuice 2, it's Beetlejuice, which is a play on words of him being summoned by his name 3 times. Already love that. Do you remember what he was holding in the picture? What 9/6/24 was on?
No.
A big strip of paper. Just like in the movie, when he was called, he was like 9 millionth or something. So it was a little play on that. So it was his ticket, and that was his place. His place was 9,624 or whatever. So it was like the whole thing was just references to the franchise in the movie, and I wish more things would do that, where even the date is a reference, like the way they do the date, instead of just throwing some text on a picture from the movie or character.
Yeah.
So did you have like any big things? Like did something happen?
With Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Not exactly. I have been keeping track of it. I know a lot of actors that are supposed to be in the movie, and I have seen a lot of people comparing it to the original with like the looks of actors being close or not close. So it does look like this movie is being taken care of, and it does look like they want to respect the original and like connect it as much as possible, which is definitely good to see, especially, you know, with movie adaptations not having the greatest when it comes to musicals. But I definitely think this one is probably going to end out at least somewhat good.
I mean, the fact that it's Beetlejuice shows that. Like, they do care. But I know you have some, but my last thing is there is going to be a new movie franchise coming out.
A connected universe, if you will. A take on the MCU, but make it dark and ruining your childhood.
So, the first movie that has already came out was... Well, I don't even remember what it's called. It's the Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
It's like the Iron Man of the franchise. It is the first. Winnie the Pooh 2 is apparently confirmed, and it's going to have Tigger. Now, guess what? This is where it gets crazy. We got Bambi the Final Reckoning, which is not only confirmed, but we have a plot where somebody's in a car accident and chased through the forest by Bambi.
Which, like, this is a freaking baby deer.
I don't know why Bambi's doing this, but Bambi's doing this.
This means the setup for the movie is going to be you hit a baby deer with your car, and then the bloody corpse gets up and chases you through the woods. Nobody's going to be able to watch this movie again.
Then we got Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, where the plot, I forget what the character was, because I saw a short going over this. Pretty much, Peter Pan's gonna be kidnapping kids.
Which, like, that's technically what he was doing in the first place.
Kind of, but it's not. But that was more wholesome, okay? That has the wholesome aspect. This one is nightmarish in the name. So we have another one, Pinocchio Unstrung. I don't know much about this one.
This one could be cool. I'm kind of excited for this one because obviously there are a lot of like kind of movies where you have a puppet or you have something that comes alive, and it's interesting. Some of them are better than others.
This one has more premise to be decent and not so cringy. It's going to be cringy though, because that's the whole point. Then it's all going to be connected in Pooniverse Monsters Assemble. This is canon. That is what it's called.
The name on that movie is a legend in and of itself. Pooniverse? Pooniverse! You have to have some actual audacity to name a movie Pooniverse.
Yeah. So I don't like this, as I did not like the original Winnie the Pooh movie, and I refuse to watch it. However, this is terrifying, because guess what? There's a whole list of, if this is successful, there's a whole list of public domains, such as Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Wizard of Oz, and more, that could all be made into horror movies.
Which, like, okay, obviously there are thoughts about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, right? Like, it wasn't the greatest movie. I've heard about it. I have not seen the entire thing. I've seen clips, portions. It was a guy in a mask. It was a slasher movie, and it was a cheap flick, right? Now, if they manage to take this down a more unique route where they actually lean into the stories of these characters and are able to step up their game in terms of either animation or practical effects, then I could actually see this being a success, right? Like, this actually has potential, because horror movies are best done when it is related to something not horror. Like, think of it this way. Puppets aren't, like, initially scary until you think... But they're a horror stereotype. They are seen as scary because so many people have told horror stories about them, right? We think of them coming to life because that's what they do in horror stories.
Yeah.
Dolls, obviously. Peter Pan, I mean, if you look at the original story of Peter Pan, not the Disney one, he was kind of a scary, crappy person. So it's not a surprise to see him becoming a horror figure. Bambi is the one where I'd be like, okay, that's definitely not supposed to be a scary story.
But it's kind of funny because when you go back and you read the tales of the Grimm brothers and all those, a lot of these Disney stories are not what you think.
Absolutely not. No.
What was it? Cinderella, right? You know how the evil stepsisters tried to put the shoe on. Nothing wrong with that, except in the original, they cut their toes off and tried to rip skin off to fit their foot.
Yeah, it's a little bit more grim.
It's almost like it's the Grimm stories.
Like,
so yeah, I don't think this is... I'm not excited, but I figured this is kind of big news, so we should cover it.
Yep, the MCU has a contender. And with how the MCU's been going down, it might actually be taken down.
And as of right now, DC is not on par and not on a good track of beating them.
Yeah.
But I did, while looking through, just checking if I had anything else, there was one game I want to quickly mention that just came out. I'm excited to see where this goes. Call of Duty Mobile, remember that game? That was a pretty big game. Still a pretty big game. Remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 that just came out? Not such a great game. Not a big game. Here's another one. Apparently, Call of Duty Mobile Warzone just came out, which is cross-progression with console and PC. However, it is a completely different game, so you're not going to play with them, but you'll get the same level and stuff. Interesting. I tried downloading it. I tried logging in, and it would not let me log in. So I'm not sure if it's out yet. It looks like it's out in certain regions, so maybe that's why. but I did download it. I have it on my phone. So I'm going to try to play that, try to just check it out. Not super hyped since it's Warzone, but it's going to be interesting because we also know Fortnite's going to be coming to mobile soon, again, on both Apple and Android.
Specifically through the Epic Games Store, which will be able to launch, I believe, through the Play Store and the Apple Store. They'll be able to launch their app on there. You can download the Epic Games Store, and you'll be able to download Fortnite, Rocket League Sideswipe, Post Party. I believe you'll be able to download the individual Fortnite modes. So say you don't want to play music mode, you won't have to download that. You can just download Battle Royale.
That'd be interesting. That'd be really nice, especially for a phone with space. Yeah. And I did just want to mention one more thing about Fortnite that we're going to cover more, but this is just a general thing. I think this is really big news. We had a State of Unreal event recently where we got some news on creative. Now, I know we're going to cover more about this in the next Fortnite episode, but again, this is too big of a deal not to mention. Custom quests, custom UI, Lego creative, and Rocket League creative. So you are going to be able to make anything soon.
Unreal Engine Fortnite is becoming huge in terms of being able to... I mean, at this point, like, it is bigger than Roblox, right? Like, it has more players, it has more devs, and it has more capabilities, but still keeping the ease of access for people.
I wonder if it's bigger than Roblox, because Roblox still has games that have, 150,000.
I mean, absolutely, yes, but in terms of quality, I'm not saying Roblox games are not fantastic, right? Like, there are some out there that have amazing graphics, amazing mechanics, it's all very impressive. However, if you look at that compared to Unreal Engine Fortnite, there are so many more capabilities and different things you could do,
When this stuff happens, yes. I still, as of right now, today, I still think Roblox is better. Because I'm playing this one map, it's like an RPG, and it still uses the cube monsters. If you fight something, it is always cube monsters. But when we get the chance to have custom guns and custom models, that is when I think Fortnite can finally overtake Roblox.
Yeah.
But as
I mean,
right now,
at this
all
point,
the games still seem so similar.
Right, I think we have those tools available. People just don't use them.
No, not for models, not for proper NPC type stuff. At least accessibly. Maybe you'd have to completely start from scratch and go some really roundabout way. But UI, there's not really a good way to do that. Custom map UI, stuff on your screen. Your inventory is always that. You can't change the way your inventory looks. Unless what you might be thinking is you can kind of throw an overlay over, like the Doom one, but it's not a proper new UI. That is just a new visual to the existing UI, if that makes sense. So, as of right now, I still think Roblox is better, but this is going to open the world for so many more indie devs. Because imagine an indie developer being able to take this, and when you can eventually download those games separately, imagine I could just download a UEFN game on my PlayStation.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
That would be crazy. So again, we'll talk more about some specifics in our Fortnite episodes. Make sure you subscribe, notify, join the Discord to know when we're going to release that in the next few weeks probably. But this is going to open so many doors for so many game developers. But that's my things. I know you had a small list of some stuff where if there's anything you wanted to talk about that we already talked about, we can go back in.
Yeah. I had a few things. We actually had a lot of the same things on our list, so I just kind of sent you a couple of the ones that I didn't see on yours. So, we already talked about the AI NPCs. The next one I wanted to bring up was Disney is releasing a lot of their exclusive shows on physical Blu-rays and DVDs, which is really interesting to see because obviously the whole point of these shows was to draw people to Disney Plus, right? You have to come to Disney Plus, subscribe to Disney Plus to watch these shows. And I believe as of now, the ones they have out are WandaVision, Loki, Mandalorian, what else? They just released another Star Wars one, Andor, I believe. And they have a bunch more down the line that they're going to be releasing. But these are the biggest of the biggest on Disney Plus, right? These are the ones that people would come to Disney Plus to watch.
Even now. like these are still
even
the
now,
ones
like
we're watching.
after
People
it
aren't
came out.
joining Disney Plus to watch She-Hulk. People are going to join because they want to catch up on WandaVision or watch season 2 of Loki.
But for some reason, they decided, well, let's release these on physical, which I'll give them props for this part at least. The physicals they are releasing are high quality. Like, they are the best video possible, and they come in a steel book.
Oh,
Like, that is really nice. And the art on them is insane. And I think the WandaVision one, at least, I haven't looked at the others, comes with, like, exclusive little, like, art cards inside, which is pretty cool. But I think it's like $40 to $60, and it's like an entire season per. So,
do you know where they're selling these? Is this like in stores,
I believe,
on Disney Store? I'm checking Amazon quickly. I'm gonna guess probably
I had seen
not.
a listing on Amazon for WandaVision a while back. I don't know where they are now. They're probably sold out if they were there. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just interesting to see that they're taking this route with things, because Disney Plus is like their main source of income right now. Like, movie theaters are not doing hot. Box office is not bringing in a lot of money. So Disney Plus is where they're going for those funds. And now they're releasing their big hitters, the things people come and subscribe to Disney Plus to watch on physical, so that they don't have to subscribe.
Is this right?
What?
$124 for both WandaVision and Loki. This is the only thing I'm seeing. Everything else is like other random crap. Only one in stock. So, I don't know. Looks like probably not on Amazon. Probably better chances somewhere else. But yeah, I know, I forget if we mentioned this in one of our episodes before, but we can reiterate this. Last year was the first year, and I don't know how long, that Disney did not make the most of any studio. First year, and I don't know how long. Probably our lifetime, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh, here, I found it on Amazon. WandaVision Complete Series, $42 right now.
It's not terrible, honestly, for a steelbook.
Yeah, you get it.
And it's Blu-ray.
Steelbook 4K or Blu-ray. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna guess this is not coming from anywhere, but maybe like our lifetime, this might be the first time that Disney did not make the most money of like any studio, like Warner Brothers, DreamWorks, like any of those. Disney has always made more.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't by much, right? I think it was 100 or 200 million, which in the grand scheme of movies isn't that much. It's like 2.1 million to 2.3 billion. So like, they're still fine. But that definitely shows a decline in watching.
Yeah, which is scary to see, right? Because Disney Plus is kind of the giant right now. I think they have the most subscribers in terms of streaming services right now. And, I mean, what really spells their doom is that people are resubscribing to Netflix. Like, that's insane, because Netflix has been on a decline for years, and now they're coming out with some stuff that are making people think again, and Disney is stopping putting out that, like, good content and releasing it on physical. So now people are going back to Netflix and canceling their Disney Plus, which is like shocking to see this kind of flip-flop, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say with Netflix, Avatar, we're not going to talk about Avatar, but the statistics, right? Apparently the live action got 2 times the amount of views as One Piece. So like it did really well. It's confirmed for season 2 and 3, One Piece season 2. And a lot of, like, I was talking with some people before this, we're still waiting on, I don't know if you heard this, the One Piece the One Piece remake. The One Piece, right? That's still coming. Yeah. We're thinking maybe an announcement on One Piece Day in July or August. So later this year, we don't know when, but that is, again, with Netflix. So maybe Netflix exclusive. So that's so much more anime, but they have other stuff. There's so many movies, like you just said, a whole bunch of these movies, like Mario and some other ones, are also on Netflix. Whereas what
it seems like
stuff,
all of the discarded ones from at least Paramount and some from like Sony and all those other ones are coming
DC
and
has
cycling
a bunch too.
Yeah, they're all coming and cycling through Netflix instead of going to their like home services that don't get a lot of subscribers. Which, like, it's kind of nice to see that we have a like median streaming service. Like, it's not going to give you any one person's content, but it will cycle through a lot of different content every now and again.
There's a lot of types of content. Yeah, no, it is What are you gonna say? I wanted to say something else. I don't remember.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's right. I remember. We'll talk about this on another one, but again, like streaming services, I think it'd be interesting. Sony recently, in the last month or two, maybe a little longer, sometime this year, has released their own app that you can stream games, buy movies and shows. And you can buy them or rent them, shows and movies. And the interesting part is, depending on your tier, I think it's extra, it might be premium, the highest tier of PlayStation Plus, you can get a whole bunch of movies for free. And I'm going to guess when we get Sony movies, we'll get them day one for free on PlayStation with PlayStation Plus.
Which is a huge draw for PlayStation.
So that's like another streaming service possibly that if you get extra, obviously it's a lot of money, right? But the reason I'm saying that is, imagine if Xbox also added a good streaming thing with their Game Pass, with the cloud streaming.
Yeah.
Like, that would be really good. And again, really hurt Netflix. Because imagine, not Netflix, Disney Plus. Because imagine when they can buy up more studios and more rights, and they have, maybe not exclusives, but have access to a lot of studios. But they guaranteed on them plus other ones.
Yeah, as of now, for those who don't know, like, Microsoft really doesn't have a streaming anything. They have, obviously, you can download the streaming services on Xbox, and they have the rewards with Game Pass Ultimate, where you can get, like, free seasons of animes or shows, or maybe a movie every now and again, that you redeem through, like, your Microsoft account. And they have their own, like, thing there where you can buy and rent stuff, but it's not anything special, and it's kind of hard to use. But if they, like, refined that and made it something, like, solely to Xbox, then I absolutely see that being a huge pull, especially towards Game Pass, if that's the route they go.
Because again, imagine, yes, that's a lot of money, right? Like, right now, it's almost like over $150 per year for PlayStation Plus Premium tier. But that's games every month, that's a full cloud library, and you add hundreds of movies and shows to that, and online play, like, that is, why would you pay for anything else?
Yeah.
And that did remind me with Sony. Here's some sad news. There's two movie things I want to talk about. Madam Web, that just came out. Are you planning on seeing that?
Probably not.
Yeah, not super good. Interesting premise. Don't know why they're making this. But it's going to be part of this, like, the Morbius and Venom movies, right? It's going to be part of their little universe. Apparently, Madam Web took priority, and they made Madam Web instead of a new Spider-Man game with the Across from Spider-Verse cast. So imagine the visuals from Across the Spider-Verse, but then the Insomniac Spider game.
Well, is this the one that had the trailer leak recently?
I don't know if I didn't remember seeing a trailer, but maybe just like some from
because there was a leaked trailer for a Insomniac multiplayer Spider-Man game.
It probably was that.
Yeah, it did not have Spider-Verse visuals, I will say that much.
Oh, it
but
didn't
it
have
did have a bunch of characters. It did look like the Insomniac games. It looked like a really polished and fun game, and it's kind of sad to see that they didn't go down the route of development.
And then with that did have it did. I think we mentioned this before too, but Batman Beyond. I know you said you didn't know about this type of Batman as much, but this is one of the more popular ones. It's an animated series, Batman Beyond. Did also have a movie idea that was shot down, and that would have been made by the same studio, not just visuals, but the same studio that did Across the Spider-Verse. And they would have made a movie like this, but that was shot down.
Dang.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
Batman
needs a little love.
Not just that, but like, this is just showing so much disconnect. It's like, clearly we like this type of movie, so why would you decline that? Clearly we like the Spider-Man games. Look at how hyped Spider-Man 2 was. Give us more. Don't give us another Morbius when you guys released it a second time, because we watched it as a joke so bad, and we clearly stated that. So, showing some disconnect here. Again, just it's nice seeing some studios like Riot and Epic Games like actively, like, at least somewhat showing that they care a little bit when we have so much stuff like this that shows so much disconnect with the creators and the community.
Yeah.
So we got a few more minutes. Is there anything else you want to cover? I know we covered a lot, but this is just a general update, stuff happening now and a year from now. We just wanted to cover because that way we can kind of touch our base, get all our bases, and then if something big does happen, we also, both of us, have a little bit of background on that information.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to, we definitely need to do a few more episodes like this, keeping those smaller updates that don't really fit into our bigger episodes, because it's good to, bring these things to people's attention, make them aware, because these are things that you might want to keep track of when, say you're considering a certain streaming service. These are things that you would want to take into account when you're looking to subscribe, because what if I'm subscribing for Loki? Now I can just buy the disc and save myself some money.
Would it be cheaper? How much is the Disney Plus subscription, do you know, per month?
No ads is 15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long term probably would, because you'd have to keep buying it, unless you just go the Giga Chat route of making multiple emails for free subscriptions and then watching it just using a new email every time you want to watch. But yeah, so I think that covers everything.
Pretty much.
Again, review. We got Hypixel Studio news. Overwatch 2 is going to be getting some love. Call of Duty Mobile's out. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Whole bunch of news on the Minecraft movie, which we will definitely be keeping some updates on throughout the year. Now that I know it's so close, I'm going to try to keep my eye out a little bit more. And the Twisted Childhood horror universe. I don't know if I'm probably not going to watch it, so I don't know if we're going to do a lore. But depending on how big it is, I might have to. I'm going to cry.
That'll be exciting.
So, remember, subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when we do updates like this, when we do different video games. But also, we kind of have something planned soon, right? Another thing planned, and that other thing.
Yeah,
so
we have a lot of things planned.
So make sure you hit the bell to be notified when we do those.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one and only Nerd Rant right here.
Yep. And subscribe to our Instagram and Twitter at Nerd Rant Podcast.
Exactly, because we're a podcast, not a gaming channel.
Yep. All right. And with that, I'm Dr. Zombrain.
And I'm Daniel.
Catch you on the flip side.